forward the message to custom at destination country in Australia. And that one is called custom as well, custom item. The custom in Australia will see the message, they will now respond to the message back through this messaging, custom response, back to the EDI machine of Australia. Within few hours, that message has been shared. The item, physical item might still be in Nigeria. By the time the item may arrive here, this is your office of exchange. From anywhere that item is posted, when it gets here, it will come to custom before it leaves. The custom, your outbound office of exchange, they will now look at the physical item. If they want to check any of those items, they will check. But if they have convinced what they have seen on the messaging, they will pass. But it saves time. Having 20 items, maybe some of the items are just mere documents. Okay, this one can go, this one can go. On the system, they might have passed 17 or 18 of the items, having convinced that, okay, they are okay. Even if they are going to check, it will be at random. They will not sit down and check one by one everything. Now, when it gets to this place as well, the physical item, I'm now explaining the movement of this physical item now. I've done that of messaging. When the physical item gets here, they pass it to custom before any delivery can be done. The custom, they had gotten the pre-knowledge, pre-information of those items. They check at random and pass for further delivery. There must be integrity in our data and what we declare. This is very important. And I want us to take this note. There must be integrity in the data in what we declare at the post office, in the sense that if 2 checks are in the package, declare it 2 checks, advise the customer appropriately, declare whatever that is there. Don't manipulate. Then the declaration in terms of the value, quote the actual thing. If that item costs you 5,000 naira, tell the customer, declare 5,000 naira. If you underestimate, okay, it is just only 2,000 naira, you don't know, maybe the 2,000 naira, by the time the tax and other duties are performed on it, it will be at your own disadvantage. So that's what we call integrity of the data we declare on the CDS. When those items goes to the destination post office, initially we are just starting exchanging this thing with them. They will continue to check. If out of 10 items arrives Japan, they are checking, they discover that 7 out of the 10 items this Nigeria Post sent to us, what they declare, this wrong information they are giving us. They are doubting the integrity of your data. They receive another bags. They check items normally from this country. We are doubting there will be issue. They will be delaying the item. Once the customs are delaying the item, it will delay time of delivery. Yes, it will delay time of delivery, and we don't have control over that. We can only seek their understanding. But if you declare the item appropriately, by the time they check initially, okay, most of the time, and items coming from country, they don't have issue. You come to a time, out of 20 items, they may just pick 2 at random and check. Okay, because your item, the content, we are truthful about what we are declaring. So that point is very, very key. We have to advise our customer. Now let's move further, because now postal operator functions. Our functions now on the CDS platform. The table you are seeing when you log in as a user is what we see. You see some modules: manage my preferences, create declaration for outbound item, create declaration for inbound item, search declaration, outbound item watchdog, displays, and displays validate anonymous. On ITMAT, on CDS, create declaration for outbound item is where we do 90% of capturing on CDS. That one is done at the post office. 90% of that thing is done. The other things is just to check, forward, edit. Because at that point, every data had been captured into system. So this is where we are going to work at the post. Create declaration for outbound item. Create declaration for outbound item. When the declaration is created at the post, when it gets to Office of Exchange, they open it, just edit one or two things, forward it. Even when the customs see it, okay, just look at it, edit one or two things. If that one is applicable, forward it. The same thing at the destination post. Most of the job are performed at the post, origin post, where the declaration for outbound item. So this module is what we are going to treat today. We will not go to other module because you don't need it at your end. This is where you need and you do most of the job. Now, manage my preference. This is definition, manage my preference. That module is used to set the current user's language, office, time, and zone configuration, like that. Then create declaration for outbound item at post. This module, when you click on this module, this is the definition. What do we do there? Scan or enter the item identifier and retrieve the declaration data available from the kiosk using field form anonymous declaration. User can retrieve the data. Yes, yeah, when you click here, you scan. You can use a scanner, it's connected to your system to scan the barcode, what we call barcode identifier, into the system, and it will open the file. Yes, creating a declaration for an outbound item at post. You see the create declaration for outbound item at post function to reconcile an item's S10 identifier with the declaration data available in the kiosk. This is the feed, item feed. When you click declaration, okay. When you click this module, the next page you will see is this place, item ID. So on this feed, you can enter the barcode, the identifier manually. But if you have a scanner attached to your system, you can scan the barcode and it will immediately appear here. Once it appears here, you click OK. Once you click OK, it will open something like this for you. If the same mail ID exists in the CDS, that is the mail ID that you scan, if it already exists in the CDS system, you can update it or create a new entry with the same personal mail ID. You see it like this. But if it has not existed, let me show you the page. Yes, provided what we scan has not been captured before, the barcode has not been captured before. This is the page you see. The scenario that you can scan and the ID has been captured before can only be experienced at the Office of Exchange. This is the reason. When you capture at your office, you capture fresh data. Fresh data. That is the role of at the post office. You capture fresh data. Then when it gets to Office of Exchange will capture the same ID and you will see all the data that you have captured. At that place, the officer in Office of Exchange does not need to capture anything but to edit forward. That is it. That is the instance that if it is scanned, you can see the existing identifier, but in your own case, at post office, we will not see because we are capturing fresh data. This is how the page looks like when you scan the ID. It will pop a page like this for you. You start capturing the data. Sender name, sender's address, the zip code, city, country. Then you move to recipient side. Name of the recipient, that is the receiver at the other side. Address, zip code, city, country, email, telephone, fax. The feed email, we don't make it compulsory, but telephone is compulsory. It's compulsory. This time, the telephone is compulsory. Telephone number of recipient and sender must be captured. Then content piece. Here we have captured the particulars of the receiver, here particulars of the sender, here the content piece. Yes, this is what the customer want to make use of. This is where I'm talking about the integrity of the data you captured. It matters most here. This place is somehow technical. During the practical course we have done in the past on CDS, we've treated this place, and this tutorial will be a sort of refreshment. I mean, what do I use to refresh us what we have learned about how to capture it? It's somehow technical. You have to be very, very careful before you enter any data on this feed. Click edit. It will allow you to make entry. Now name the number. If I'm sending 10 bags, I click 10, description bags, then revise HS, I leave that one, origin country. By default, the origin country will be here because here you have declared the origin country. Here you see CH, Switzerland. So when you come here, you see the origin country by default. The system will bring it out because you have declared it already at the recipient address. So HS, when you click on this place, it will pop up list of some codes and look at the appropriate codes that match it with the description that you are declaring here. When you click on this feed, it will pop up list and look at those lists. The one that is appropriate, that matches what you declare here, that is it. Then the weight, you weigh that bag, the 10 bags you are sending, you weigh it, the amount. You ask the customer, how much is this material you are sending? They give you the amount, you input it there. Currency, if it is Naira, you choose which currency. Or if you are changing everything to unified currency like dollar, you change it there as it may be agreed upon by the policy of the operational departments. Now, you move down, order. The handling class, you see drop down arrow. If you click drop down arrow here, you give you some list. See registered or not. It's registered. Nature. See, you fill all these things. Well, before we leave this place, I will log on to the live server and we'll see it practically how it will be done. Let's move to the next slide. In senders, the sender's name and address details. In recipient name and address details. Those are the literatures behind what we are doing. And by the time you finish, you click submit. If your system is attached to a printer and you decide to print, because what you are seeing at CN23 is the same form that you have filled manually. Once you submit all the data and click print, if your system is attached to a printer, it will print it for you in this format, similar to one we filled manually, containing every information. This barcode is not machine generated. It is the barcode you scan or you key in when you are declaring the content. It will print it out for you like that. The outbound item watchdog. Okay, thank you. So let me quickly log on to the live and see how this thing are done practically.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abe.
I want to log on to the live and you see what we are talking about. I will do that now. Yes, I've copied the URL. Can you see my screen? Mr. Kingsley, can you see my screen?
No,
I'm still seeing your slide. I'm still seeing your slide. I'm not seeing the button.
We're just seeing the slide.
Okay, is the slide you are still seeing?
Yes.
Okay, I stop sharing. Let me share my screen again. Let me share it again. Okay. Okay, I've shared it again. If you see, let me know.
Yeah, we are seeing it.
Okay, now this is CDS. You can see the login page of CDS on your screen. Can you see?
Yes.
Yes, we want to interact live to the database of CDS. Now, this is the feed that I enter the item identifier. This is practical now. If I have a scanner attached to my system, I just scan the barcode, it will appear here. But if I don't have a barcode, I will enter it manually. Be careful that you enter the correct thing. And you click OK. Once you click OK, it will open a page. You know, this is the fresh data that I want to capture. That data has not been captured in any post office before because I'm at the post office, want to capture data. This is it. The general destination post, where is the item going to? Once I click it will pop up some of the USPS. Okay, USA. Item is going to USPS. That one is click. Make class. Is it EMS, letter, or parcel? For now, we are doing EMS before it's extend to parcel and letter. Then the date of posting. So by default, it's giving me the current date and time. Now, make state. This place is very, very important. Make state. You can see when I click on the drop down arrow, it pop up different events. A is received from customer. That is what you are going to perform at your end. A, you click A, receive customer. That's what concerns you, receive from customer, no other thing. B is office, outbound office of driver, outbound custom. Mark as job. Someone should mute his speaker, please. May his microphone. Thank you. Departed outbound office of exchange. A is what concerns us. You click on that one, state. That is your state where you are. Now we move down. Sender, you enter sender, name of the sender. ID reference is not compulsory. The address of the sender. And if it continues, you enter it like that. Then city is very, very important. This thing doesn't really has a minimum. City, it is Abuja. You are selling it from Abuja. States, since it's a compulsory field, you must fill that place, city. Nigeria, by default, Nigeria is there because you are the post country. Email, you know, I said earlier, is not compulsory, but the telephone number is very, very compulsory. You must key in the telephone number.
What's the difference between fornication and adultery? You make understand. Fornication is a premature adultery. Adultery is a mature fornication. Adultery is an uncontrolled fornication. And fornication is the beginning of adultery.
Mr. Stephen Kure, can you mute your mic?
Mr. Kure, mute your mic, please.
Thank you. Now we have filled the details of the sender. Let's move to the details of the recipient. That is the addressee. The name of the addressee. I fill in the name of the addressee. Then the address of the addressee, the city, say it's going to US. Don't forget that you have selected the destination here. You have selected the destination US. Let's say it's going to New York. It's going to New York. Then email is not compulsory, but if it has an email address, write it there. Then the phone number must have phone number. Phone number was there of the recipients. Phone number was there, blah, blah, blah. Fax, if it has fax address. Now, we have completed the senders and the recipient details. Now, the content piece. This place is very, very important. We must maintain integrity about the data we declare here. Now, for instance, we have 5 bags. I want to enter it. Number, click here, 5 bags. Description, say, this is a leather bag. Leather bags. Leather bags, what I declare. Then, you see, origin country. By default, NG is there. You see, that's what I'm saying. When you click on that, it will pop up. Leather, 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 leather. You click one. Then the weight. What is the total weight of the 5 bags? If the total weight of the 5 bags is 3 kg, don't write kg anymore. Don't write kg. When you write 3, don't write kg, because that field has been graduated in kg. See, it must be in kg. So don't write kg, just write 3 kg. The amount, the customer must declare the value in naira. By default, we have chosen that currency in naira on the system. The amount, the 5 bags, how much is the 5 bags? Everything, say 15,000 naira for the 5 bags. Then in the same package, have other items there apart from the bag. What else? Maybe he has 2 shirts. 2 shirts. 2 shirts are in the package. Then you come here, it will pop up clothing, 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 because they have been categorized. What is the weight of the 2 shirts? See, the weight of the 2 shirts is 1 kg, and the amount for the 2 shirts, say 12,000. This amount, the customer must give you the value. Even if it is fairly used, it must have a value. Even if it is a document, a book, a used book must have a value. That's why we call it custom declaration. Having completed that section, you move down. Order, adding class, you click on this arrow, you see, say ordinary issue register tracked. What do we select? We select registered, because EMS item is not ordinary. Presently, we don't insure items. Don't make a mistake by clicking insured item. Presently, we don't insure item. That policy has not been rolled out. For now, they are registered items. Once it has a tracking ID, identifier, it's registered. Then the value, insured value, because it's not a registered value, it's registered item, cannot have a value. You see, the field is not compulsory. Then currency is there. The nature, what is the nature of what you are sending? Is it sales for good, that is commercial? Is it return goods? Is it gift? Is it a commercial sample? Is it document order mixed content? Say gift. But if it is for sales, it's sales of goods. You ask all this information from the customer, must give you the correct information about it. It's a gift. Then the gross weight. Now, the gross weight is different from the weight you have here. You know, you have 3 kg here for the leather bags. You have 1 kg here for the shirts. And the gross weight must be included, and the carton must be included now. The 5 leather bags, you pack it in the carton, you seal it, and you now put it on your weight to give you the gross weight, different from the net weight. This is the gross weight, plus the carton, everything. Now, 3 plus 1, 4, let's say the gross weight is 5 kg now. Don't put kg, it's already been graduated in kg. Then the postage rate, what you charge the customer to move the item to US, something weigh 5 kg. Can I guess? Can somebody give me the neighborhood of the price, 5 kg to US? When we are practicing, let's say it's 55,000. The postage you are charging to US in naira. Then transport mode, is it going by plane, by truck, train, or ship is by plane. Now, transport date. If you click now, it will give you the current date. Notes, if there's any notes, the field is not compulsory. Then new action. New action, this place is very, very important and technical. Say, by default, we have store final automatic transfer. If you click on the arrow, let us look at the other option. The first option is create, update, draft. Create, update, draft. Because you are at the post office, the first point for that item, you click create, update, draft. Because when it gets to office of exchange, they still have the opportunity to perform one or two things on that item on the system. That's all. I will not click store. The reason is that I'm interacting with the database live. If I click store, it will store on the database. It means I've put jargons on the database, though for the purpose of the training. So if I click store, it will store it on the database. And when you store it on data, it will give you option if you want to print, as I said earlier. If you click print, you will see the electronic version of CN23 that looks like exact CN23 that you feed. So this is where we stop. Okay, before we stop, you see at this side, accompanying document, fine. Some of items have some document that usually accompany them, maybe quarantine, that's a maybe endorsement letter from quarantine, from things like that. Okay, if that item has such a complete document, this is where you enter such item. Before you enter, it will not accept any input from you unless you click edit. Once I click edit, yes, it will interact the database as I want to make input. Document type. What is the type of the document? Is it identity card is accompanying it, or passport, or driver license, or export license? Okay, let's say it's export license. Maybe what that person want to export must get the export license. He has gotten the documents. Now, what is the document ID? Every document must have a ID, a number issued. Yes, that is the reference. What is the reference? Maybe exports license. Maybe he has gotten the export from what organization responsible for exports now? Okay, let us say XP exports 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For instance, that the name, the number on that document is the document ID. To trace the document, that is the export ID. Here, export name, export license. So if you have other things, before you move further, here you click update. Before you move further, you click update to store it. And if you have another one, you click edit. Now, because I did not click updates, you don't see this one. That's why I say this place is somehow technical. It's technical. I don't want to click edit and updates, it will store it. So if you have another one, you click it, it's ID card. 36 is for ID card. Document number, ID card, your ID card number, then document name, ID card is there by default. This 36, it means the code for ID card is 36. So if what you have done is correct, is not correct, you can still cancel it. You can still move to other one. See, 36 the other time for ID card. Export line say, give me 811. Certificate of origin. See, so give you the number on that. Okay, certificate of origin, it drops that one like that. You see, this 1, 2, 3 feet. If you have more than 3 documents, by the time you have completed the third one, automatically the system will expand the feed for you for additional one. If there There are other documents you want to attach. It's not limited to these three. By the time you completed the three on the third one, it will automatically extend it for you. That is it. So let's go back to our slide. Hello, Mr. Moderator.
Please, we can hear you, please.
Okay, can we, at this junction, can we entertain one or two questions?
Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Mr. Abbey. For those of us who have one or two questions that we want clarity on, maybe we should just indicate by raising our hand. Okay, I can see some hands up already. Patience.
Yeah.
Patience, please, you have the floor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, please, in a situation whereby it is just a document you want to send, not accompanied with any other items, how do you go about it? Just a document, let's say a passport.
If you are sending hello.
Yeah.
If you are sending a document,
okay,
there is a column there that is click documents. You click documents. It means you don't have declaration for it, and you go ahead. You see, on that declaration fee where you declare the value, the weight, and everything, you will discover that they are not compulsory feed. They are not compulsory feed. It's not necessary that you fill it if you don't have item with value that you want to declare. But if it is a document, even if it is a book is a document, you can still declare the value of that book, even if it is a used book. I said it earlier. If it is a used book that is valuable to you, you can still click in book. This is the code, this is the weight of the book. What is the value? It has a value. If it is a used book, this is my book, though it's used book, or to me, it still costs 20,000 because it's an old book. You cannot get it on the bookshelf anymore. You declare the value and you go ahead. Do you understand?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mr.
All right, thank you. Mr. Richard, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, good afternoon, fellow participants. My question goes thus. I just want to find out what if a scenario when a customer comes in and had already provided the necessary information, but as at that point in time when the counter clerk was administering to the customer, maybe there was no light to be capturing all those necessary data at that point in time, and peradventure the counter clerk omitted one of those information necessary for it to be inputted on those platforms. How will that play out? Because I know there are many times that most of our counter officers, they usually pile up most of those parcels that are going out to be captured later on when they have enough time on their hand to do all of those things. How would they be able to get those things when maybe when the customer has already left?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Richard. Yeah, because you asked a very practical question that we experience day to day in our processing. Once you want to capture all this information that you want to capture, this data you want to capture, are provided by somebody. On the custom declaration label, the CN23 or CN22, as the case may be, those things are filled on that form. And if you don't have space for additional information on that form, and you know your environment, that like there may be power of any moment that if this customer leaves, you may not get those important information anymore. You can write it somewhere and attach it to that CN23, like the value of each of the item in the package, the weight, everything. You can write it and attach it. The moment the customer leaves, you are the one that will capture it on the system, having gotten all the required information about that item, you can capture it thereafter. It's not that you must capture it live when the customer is standing before you, because if you have constant power, uninterrupted internet connectivity, you can start capturing it on the counter, fine. But if you know that something may disrupt that process, write it, attach it to that CN23. If the fields on the CN23 are not sufficient for all the information provided, so even if the customer leaves and there's a disruption in service, maybe power or internet, by the time service is restored back to your system, you have captured all those things somewhere. You now go to the CDS and capture it and click submit. Am I clear?
All right.
Very clear, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that clarification. Samsudeen, you have the floor. Samsudeen, you have the floor, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome, Samsudeen.
I have 2 questions, but my brother has already asked the first one, so I'll go straight to the second. I was not with you when you started the presentation, but I'm kind of maybe you must have talked about it. Maybe there was a time the former IPS manager posted some few countries that we can only the few countries that we can, that we can only when items are going to those countries that we
can only capture for those 5 countries. 5 countries.
Yeah, 5 countries. Yeah, exactly. Is there any other countries that was added to the list? That's my question. And I have seen that there's a lot of improvement on the system. And I also like to ask about the schools, because there was a time when we were doing the training, they said if an item, item from Nigeria are coming and they will assess the item for like is it a month? When they find what is on the system is what is physically, then they will, the rest of the item will just be coming without really delaying them, or the custom checking them, the destination custom checking them. I'm sorry, I'm not that sound today.
Okay, no problem. I understand what you are trying to say.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me start from the first one. You asked about the 5 countries we are initially told to capture on CDS. Now, by that time, the PTC, you know what PTC means in postal terminology? Postal Technology Center is a subsidiary of UPU.
Yes, I know.
You know, fine.
Yeah.
PTC gave us 5 countries that we can capture on CDS, because we are yet to install our own server at IMPC on CDS. So that one is just like pilot phase. Yeah, okay, do CDS to this country. But by the time we start full blown on CDS, the link I use with you to go on the live, we will not use that link anymore. We have our own link, because by that time our server, you have already purchased the server, installed, configured. We are about to start. Once we start, we interact directly with our own server here, and they expanded from 5 countries. And your second question about, what's the other question?
The score that custom will give to an.
Okay. About the scores, thank you. Well, we said earlier on that you join the class later. I made mention it during the course of presentation that when you capture data of an item, make sure that you capture it correctly. Advise your customer to capture correct information about everything. They should not manipulate, because when this thing gets to the destination post, the custom there will check. If they discover that out of the 10 items received from this particular country, 8 of them are faulty, wrong information, they will be checking those things it will delay item company from your hand. But if it is discovered that, okay, there are integrity about the data these people are giving us, they can pick 2 out of 20 items and check at random and pass it. It saves time. And by that time of delivery is reduced compared to when your items are delayed over there and you don't have control over there anymore. Because the item had left our shop and you don't have control over the custom there anymore. That's what we are saying, that advise the customer to give correct information about the item, the materials they are sending.
Thank you so much. Samsudeen, I hope it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Dema, you have the floor, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Dema from Inagua.
You're welcome.
Yes, I just wanted to, add to what one of the earlier speakers said concerning getting the declaration done in the presence of the customer. But somehow the customer.
Mr. Dema, please, there is discussion. Ask your question again.
Please, Mr. Abdul Salam, can you turn off your mic, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I will acknowledge you shortly. I said, please turn off your mic. Let Mr. Dema finish his question. You are the next, please.
Okay.
Mr. Dema, can you hear us? All right. Mr. Abdul Salam, you can go ahead with your question, please.
Okay, good evening, colleagues.
Good evening, sir.
You are welcome, Mr. Dema.
My question.
Hello,
okay,
sorry,
my question.
Hello, the question is, should the customer now firstly give information to the counter officer, and the customer, the counter officer, not knowing the actual value of the item, and decided to input those information after the customer had left? What is the state of the counter officer that accepted that item and processed for onward dispatch? Particularly if it gets to custom and it was discovered that such item was falsely declared in the CDS platform. Hello, I don't know if it's clear.
Okay, Mr. Dema.
Mr. Abe, did you get the question, please?
I get the question. Let me repeat it.
Okay, but just hold on briefly. Mr. Dema, can you turn off your mic? There's too much interference from your end, so that we can hear the response to your question.
Okay, let me move out a bit where I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
He got your question. I said you should turn off the mic so that he will respond to you, please.
Let me respond to that question. If a customer declares false information about the item he's sending, and that item is captured, that information he declared falsely captured on CDS, and it gets to custom, and the custom declared that, and we discovered that that declaration is not correct. You as a content officer or at your own end, you don't have problem about that, because you are not the one that declaring the value, the content. It is the customer. And on the hard copy, on the CN23, there's a place there that the customer will append his or her signature there. That what I declare, I certify that what I declare are correct is there. So when it gets to custom, the custom now will do their job according to what they've seen. So it is advisable to advise them declare the correct thing. You don't know, maybe it will count against you if you declare wrong information. That was I said initially. Advise them declare the correct thing. That's it. So if you declare the wrong thing, maybe an item worth 10,000, you declare it's just 2,000. Maybe the lower the value of the item, higher the taxes he will pay. He doesn't know. She doesn't know. So it's none of your business. Make sure that what she declared is what you input, and he or she will sign the CN23, the hard copy. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I hope it's clear, Mr. Dema. All right. It seems there is so much interference from your end. We are taking the next question from Abdul Salam, please. I want to beg, let those of us that are not asking questions or those of us that are not talking now, let's turn off our mic so that we'll minimize the interference coming in, please. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, colleagues.
Abdul Salam, you have the floor, please.
Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Abdul Salam.
My question has to do with this custom duty. You know, sometimes if a customer places an item and as custom are not available in all our countries nationwide, and there is a tendency of item being charged export duty, and on getting to IMPC, custom will act on it. And if it is found to be dutiable, then how will it go? Because will the customer be notified that his item is duty bound, and so that he should be able to pay before item proceed to the destination country, or how does it go? And number two is, if there is anything of such nature, how do we know it online?
If there is any
duty.
Any duty.
Because sometimes when item comes, it is always accompanied with a manifest that you are to pay this amount before the item is collected. Yes. But how do we know this thing online?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdul Salam. What you are saying about the inbound items, when item come from other postal operator, yes, to Nigeria, because those one inbound items, and at the office of exchange, the custom there will calculate the custom duties and other charges and send to the delivery office for that customer to pay. Yes. On items that we are treating now on CDS form, we deal mostly on outbound items originating from our office. Items originating from our office that we are sending abroad.
Yes.
The items coming from abroad to our office, once it gets to office of exchange, the customer will do their job, and the customer must pay the duties before those items are delivered. Where item is helpful in this wise is that when we fully install and implement this item, it will save time and it will save unnecessary or ambiguous charges on item, because everything would have been automated. You cannot inflate charges on any item. The system itself will give the correct charges, custom charges on each item. That is the advantage of item for inbound items. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm
so by that time, there will not be any inflation or ambiguous custom charges. The system itself will generate it.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Okay, another question is, what will happen if the item that is for the outbound item, that when you are sending from Nigeria to maybe US, and it is found to be dutiable item, that is Nigeria supposed to charge export duty. How will the customer know about that one?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Abdullahi, for that question. Is the nature of the item that are brought to the post office, the operational department would have known if this item will attract export duty at the office of exchange. The operational department would have known, and they would have informed the counter clerk that if so items are brought, these are what you are to do, bring so paper. It's part of the accompanying document that the customer will bring alongside that, okay, I've paid so on this item I want to export. These are the evidence, export license, like the one I showed you during the course of the presentation, that an item may have an export license. receipts, things like that, we bring it. Because the customer himself or herself would have known that what I want to export, we attract charges, export charges, would have gone ahead, pay to the appropriate authority before bringing those items and bring the accompanying documents. And I show you where to attach the accompanying documents on the system.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I hope that is clear, Mr. Abdul Salam. Mr. Idris, you have the floor.
Yeah, I actually, good evening. This is Mr. Idris from Benin.
Sorry, hold on. Mr. Abdul Salam, can you turn off your mic, please? All right, go ahead, please. Mr. Idris, you have the floor. Go ahead, please. Hello, Mr. Idris.
Mr. Idris, are you there?
Okay, while he's trying to sort out his network issues, Mr. Julius, you have the floor, please.
My name is Julius. Some are very indeed. My question is in custom, in keeping item with customs, I discovered that when they send an item to custom, an experience that it takes so many longs before custom assess it and forward it to the necessary destinations. So I want to know the reason why the item, when the item is not prohibited.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please, I'm still, the network just went off and it just came back.
Okay,
now.
you have to hold on, please. Let Mr. Julius finish. You take over after that, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Julius, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is why really the items that being forwarded to customs is being held when the item is not being prohibited and the necessary document is being declared. That is my question, sir.
Is the item coming to the country or going out of the country?
It's outbound. It's going out of the country.
Yeah. Outbound item going out of the country.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. If it is outbound item going out of the country and the necessary papers, documents are attached to it, and such an item experience delay at the custom, they are doing their job. They want to know if it is prohibited. More item they may need to scan it at exchange office to let the item pass through the scanner and see the content of that item. Sometimes item may be opened.
Yeah.
Now, this is the essence of ITMAT. All these are manual process. ITMAT will remove most of the manual process on the items. We are automating it. By the time this ITMAT is fully implemented, it will reduce the manual process and it will make it faster. They reduce human interaction with every item. Do I understand your question, Mr. Julius?
Yeah, you do, but I want to know how often the custom do assess this our platform, our newly introduced platform. Because if they're assessing it at normal appropriate time, there shouldn't be any delay before dispatching any items going out of the country.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Julius. This platform, CDS, I said it initially that it has not been fully implemented. Let me explain the full implementation of this system to you, CDS. Once it is fully implemented, CDS, the custom, the origin custom, are custom here. They have their own on their platform. And our own server, our own database with this custom database must communicate, interact, exchange data. What you accept in your office, the item message will be sent. Hello, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm going
what you accept, what you key in your office, that information might message will equally be sent to custom database. They will see it on their platform. They will access it. If there's any charges, they will charge it before it arrives. So it's not that the integration has not been fully implemented, but we need to know all these things to get prepared. So by the time we are on live, we are just going to run it seamlessly. We don't have any issue or any misunderstanding about how it works.
Okay. All right, sir. I want to also use this opportunity. Hello, sir. Please, sir. I want to also use this. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Mr. Julius.
Hello, sir.
Hello. We can hear you.
I want to use this opportunity also to appeal to our management and our GM ICT. When this platform is fully integrated, the necessary apparatus should be put in place, because printing out of the manifest is very, very necessary, so that we'll be able to accompany the document and offline also. That is what I want to say, sir.
Okay, thank you. Printing on CDS is an option. It may not be necessary for every office, but to capture is what is necessary, what is mandatory for every office. Printing may not be necessary. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Idris. You have the floor, please. Mr. Idris. Okay, it seems Mr. Idris is still having network issues. Mr. Emmanuel, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I just want to add a little on the issue of false declaration on CDS. I don't think any counter officer or any accepting officer or the controlling officer in any district or any post office should allow a customer to declare a false declaration and he will accept it and allow custom in Lagos or at the IMPC to dictate. It is very, very wrong, because you have to cross-check with what the customer declare and the fiscal item. We don't need to allow any customer to declare false information on NCDS. Then after accepting and dispatch to Lagos, they will now go there and dictate it for us. It's very, very wrong. It's not allowed. That is what I just want to add, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so
Emmanuel.
much for that advice.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Let me give you more explicit explanation about that declaration. You asked a very good question. What are we declaring on CDS? Number one, you declare the description of that item. If it is a shirt, a shoe, or a bag, you declare that one. Two, you declare the value of that item. Yeah. How much it costs you. Three, the weight of that item. Now, about the description of that item. Somebody brings a bag, a handbag, a female handbag. Okay, you know that this is a female handbag. Say, okay, what is this? Say, no, this is a shirt. It can be accepted. That one is quite glaring. A bag is different from a shoe. Do you understand? A bag is different from a shoe. It is a bag, not a shoe. Yes. Then number two declaration, want to declare the value. Okay, madam, this your handbag, how much is it? Okay, my bag, it cost me 25,000. But you look at that, this bag, it can't be more than 25,000. But you are not the seller. It declares that 25,000 naira. That's why I say, can you argue with that customer the value of that item? Say, no, it is 25,000 that cost me. Yes, she said that it is 25,000. Put it there. That one is not debatable. It is what she declares for an item. Now, come to the weight. That was glaring. You put it on the scale. It weighs 2 kg. And she said, okay, I've weighed, but it's only 1 kg. No, madam, you can see by yourself. It weighs 2 kg. You declare that 2 kg. You see? Let us have good understanding about this declaration. The value is what the customer said that this is what it cost me. I made an example that a used book can be declared. Somebody can come with a post office. Okay, this is my used book. Okay, I'm declaring it for 20,000. Say why? The used book. Okay, now it's a used book, but it's a scarce book. We cannot get it in bookshop anymore. So I really value it. There's nothing you can do about it. There are books that I bought online, used books, cost as much as 10,000, 15,000. Used books from Amazon. They are used books. That's it, because you don't see those books on the shelf anymore. Mr. Imade, do I answer your question?
Yes, thank you for the clarification. He was actually not asking a question. He was emphasizing the need for customers to declare what is or what they have, and not to be declaring things outside what they have on hand or what they are going to post. So, but thank you for the clarification. Our time is fast spent. I will take the last one from Mr. Idris, please. Mr. Idris, your question, and let us be fast about it so that we can take the next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good. Firstly, I said I want more clarification on the issue of the brain behind this CDS, because I really want to know better between the CDS and the IPS. Secondly, sir, the CDS.
Go on, Mr. Idris.
Okay.
Can you hear us, please?
Item in CDS, and at the same time, log in the item in the IPS. Can you do that? Or when you have logged in the CDS, that is the end. You don't need to log it in the IPS again.
Beautiful.
Thirdly, yes. You said the CDS. There is no CDS in the. Are you not telling us that the only thing when we want to log in CDS is only for the EMS? We cannot log in. We can item that is for letters and parcels can also be logging in CDS. Number four.
Okay.
For those offices that has much customer, because if you look at the platform of this CDS now, you discover it's one of those things that is even making this something, I believe, not to work the way it's supposed. You discover that the functions in this CDS platform is much. Before you start there, if you go to a larger office like us here, how we want meet up with all this customer, and you want to enter all these things in the system, and you have to take some information from the customer. Most of the information you cannot even write it down, you will forget. So how we want to go about it? Lastly, sir.
Mr. Idris.
Descriptions of this item.
Mr. Idris, sir? I want to answer your question. Sir? Please let me quickly answer the first three questions. Sorry. Let me quickly answer the first three questions and you continue. Hello? Let me answer your first three questions before you continue, because since it appears you have the list of it, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first three, let me quickly answer it so I will not forget what you have.
And please, Mr. Abe, be brief in your answers so that be concise and straight to the point, please.
Thank you. Number 1, you asked about the brain behind the CDS. In this presentation,
yes.
By that time, the brain behind this CDS, that the big players in the post, the big countries that have volume of mails in transit all over the world came together. They want to reduce the manual process of this custom assessments. That is the brain. And the World Custom Organization and UPU came together. This platform was designed, and it was mandated that every post office, every postal administration must use it. That's the brain behind it. Number 2, about the IPS and CDS. That
Sorry, Mr. Abe. Let me add something to that. Number 1. In plain language, it means that you are sending the information of that item ahead to the country of destination, even before the item will get there, so that they can do the assessment. Yes. Do you understand? Assessment delay the processes of mail movement and delivery. In order to reduce those processes, that's why they decided to automate the process of assessing an item, even when the item is on its way coming. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Abe.
Thank you, Mr. Kingsley. I think your explanation is you break it down in the layman form. Now, Number two, you asked about the CDS and IPS. Fine. By the time we started this thing fully, you will, once you capture on CDS at your office, you don't need to open IPS and capture event A anymore. I will tell you the reason. Every information, every data we input on CDS platform is also on IPS event A. Even those ones on the CDS are more explicit than the one on IPS. Once you capture and submit, the server it has been integrated with each other. Okay. It will automatically replicate on IPS and on event A, so you don't need to bother yourself anymore.
Okay.
Please note, currently it is not like that. When currently it is not like that deployed, because it's still at a testing stage. If I want to use that word. So it's only when it's fully deployed that it will now have a complete handshake. Okay. But right now you are expected to capture on the CDS platform and capture on the IPS platform. We are still testing the process.
For the 5 countries given to you. For the 5
please, I was going to talk about that. Can you state those countries again? Because for the benefit of those who probably don't know the countries we are testing with currently.
Mr. Kingsley.
Did you hear my question?
USA is there. But I may not be able to give you everything.
Okay, don't worry. Before the end of the class, I will send it. I will get it.
I will look at the books. Then the similar thing, number 3 question that, okay, is it only EMS that you capture on CDS? For now, the policy says that capture it on EMS item. Later, it will be extended to other products like latent and parcel. But for now, EMS item. Thank you. So you can go ahead with your other 2 questions.
I think the other question, the other one says is cumbersome, considering the volume of mails some offices they receive, and considering the fact that the what do you call it, CN23 or so does not explicitly capture the information you may need to impute on the CDS platform. So is that not your question? So, Mr.
It is.
The way I want you to answer it is this: if a customer leaves and drop that CN23, or so if I'm correct, with you, is it sufficient enough for you to capture on CDS, or you must capture while the customer is there, so that if there are any gray areas or questions or feeds you need information on, the customer will be there to provide it for you?
Thank you, Mr. Kingsley, for that explanation on that question. You know, at this time, you must be practical. We have different peculiarities at our offices. If your office is a big office and the volume of items you receive on a counter is so much, it will take time before you finish capturing everything. On CN23 is not as explicit as what we have on the platform. The additional information you can write on a piece of paper attached to that CN23, and whenever the customer leaves, input it. And you can do it like this. If you go to banks to pay e-money, you discover that they have a lot of customers. The counter will collect the money from you and your teller and stamp it, and you may go check the money. Somebody else will capture it on the system. In big offices that they have much customer, we can apply the same thing. If we have so many customers, just get the item, check that they are correct. The additional information, write it in a piece of paper, attach it to that CN23. Let the customer sign the CN23. Let the customer leaves, pass it to somebody who will capture it. So it will not delay the customer on the counter. Once you are satisfied that every information that you need has been captured, either on CN23 or a piece of paper that you attach to it, like the description of the item, things like that, then pass it to the officer who will do the capturing at the back end, maybe at the back of the counter.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's clear. Mr. Idris, I hope that is clear. He just gave you an easy way out. You can just go to the client, the CDS page, look at the feeds that are not contained on the CN23 form. Bring them out as a way of an additional form so that the customers can fill it. But for offices who have a dedicated officer that captures instantly, there wouldn't be need. Why you are doing the wrapping and all of those stuff, if that office has a dedicated officer for capturing, that person can just be doing the capturing alongside.
Sure.
Do you understand? So these are the options available, all in a bid to ensure that these things are done and as at when due. All right, I think that's all we can take from, I don't even think there's any hand up again. I want to believe that the training is clear. And for those of us that have been having issues, who have learned one or two things on how best to handle the CDS. And don't forget, we are still testing with 5 countries. Hopefully, we are, as soon as we pass the test stage, we are going to go live, like integrate with the IPS as he has said, so that we will not be duplicating our capturing again. Thank you so very much, Mr. Abe. We really appreciate the time you took to prepare this presentation and make it explicit for us. Thank you. Very quickly, I think we still have time. We will go to the next presentation for today. That will be on EMS credit service. I want to still beg us, for those of us whose mic are up, let us please mute our mics so that we'll be able to follow the next presentation. And let us prepare our questions. At the end of the presentation, we will ask questions when necessary. Please, or if your mic is up, please just kindly mute it, please. Like I can see him. Okay, I don't want to start calling names, but please just check your mic. If it's up, just mute it, please. Thank you so much. Mr. Felix, you are to take us on EMS credit service as it's applicable on the IPMS platform. Please, you have the floor.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I think we did a little adjustment. Maybe you didn't see it in the mail that was actually sent. I sent that there was a little adjustment. Yeah, so Ismail is supposed to come on board to take the logistics application. Ismail, are you there?
In the mail or WhatsApp? I didn't see
WhatsApp.
It.
In the WhatsApp, and even in the link that was sent. When I did the adjustments, another link, if you have clicked the link, you would have seen that there was actually an adjustment.
All right, no problem, Mr. Ismail. I was wondering why all of a sudden your name now even changed to Tijani e-commerce. So I didn't know you were planning to take us on e-commerce. Because I had to go through everybody's name. I discovered your own name has changed to Tijani e-commerce. Tijani e-commerce, you have the floor, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Moderator.
Sorry, I want to also inform you that we've tried to rectify Dr. Gaga's account, and any moment from now he's going to be joining us, even if just to say hello.
It's already up. Welcome on board, sir.
Is he there? I've not seen him.
Yes, I've seen him, Gaga Thomas.
Okay, he's already on. Sir.
Okay, Oga is on, please.
So that you can speak, sir.
And yes, you have to mute your mic. Everybody, please mute your mic. The GM ICT is on board. We are privileged to have him today. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome, sir. We have been expecting you all this while, sir. And we are glad to have you on board today, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I have to apologize because I've been having challenge on logging into the platform. But I'm very impressed when we utilize this time to train ourselves and then enhance our knowledge. Worldwide today, people are actually utilizing ICT tools to ensure that they place a collaborative work environment. And I'm glad I have had a lot of comments from some of the members that have attended this thing that it is very useful. So those of you that are coordinating this thing, I'm very happy with your efforts. And for the other colleagues, you know, we have been having so much challenge on ICT issues in the organization. I pray that we're going to utilize this time to ask as many questions as possible and then to enhance our understanding on the different solutions we're using. So once again, thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. I'm grateful, sir.
So what are you doing now?
Okay, for today, we have taken a presentation on CDS. It was delivered by Mr. Abe. He exhaustively looked at the CDS platform and how it can we can capture items on the platform. Questions were raised as regard the issues that are being tested currently. Though we are yet to get that list, Mr. Abe promised to provide it before the close of this presentation today, because we are aware that currently we are only sending CDS information to only 5 countries. Hopefully, most of the offices, I think they have been doing it, though there were complaints about the information, the features, that's the feeds on the platform is not explicitly captured on the CN23 form. So we have also resolved that in order to ensure that the customers provide all the information we will need to capture the CDS, a form can be attached to the CN23 form so that the customer will fill that form to capture all the feeds we may need to do the job. So basically, that's what we have done for today. But before now, we have done series of training ranging from AVS and even digital addressing. We did a training on IPS. In fact, it was a full day training extensively. We looked at IPS. We also looked at the monitoring and reporting in IPS. How come people are scoring 0 despite the fact that they are doing this capturing at their offices? So we've been able to identify some of the issues, and we are hoping that after the lockdown, the performance will improve. We also looked at IPMS, and in fact, that one is the core of ICT. We have looked at some modules in IPMS. We've looked at the post letter box. We've looked at how mails are handled from event A to delivery. Today, we're also planning that we'll look at the credit service of the EMS on IPMS and probably even look at the TMPC and the mail processing aspect of it as well. We also looked at ICT operations, how our devices are being managed, how our devices are being deployed, how they are being handled at the various offices. So we try to discuss better ways of handling these devices and allocating them to ensure that the desired result is achieved. We emphasize on device sharing, considering the fact that NIPOST currently may not be able to provide the needed devices for all offices. We stress the need for offices to ensure that the devices are shared to ensure that various events and activities are being done at the offices. We looked at networking as well, where we discussed how to troubleshoot network, how to manage our network infrastructure in offices, and so that we'll be able to have network up at all times. We also consider some of the challenges that are bedeviling the ICT department in the various offices, though we still plan to create time for people to discuss their issues. But basically, the ones we took yesterday borders on network infrastructure. Most of the offices complain that their Galaxy infrastructure is not working. For example, Surulere said they have only 1 point of internet, and once you connect it to a computer, no other computer can connect to it again. So they have to be waiting for one person before they will use the internet to do another work. So these are some of the things we have been discussing for the past 2 weeks. We are hoping we'll still look at other issues. But today, sorry, yes, we looked at antivirus as well. We discovered that the antivirus, NIPOST acquire antivirus every year, and the keys are being sent to offices. But however, most of these offices, they either don't install the antivirus, either because they are not familiar with the processes, or they just feel that the antivirus is not different from the normal free one they have on their system. So we have been able to put them through on how to install this antivirus, how to set some key features in this antivirus, and even how to restrict their systems to the extent that you can control usage of your system using the antivirus. So we expose them to the features of the antivirus, and we have also created the avenue for them that if they have issues installing it, they should not hesitate to contact the desk officer for antivirus, which is Mr. Felix. So this afternoon, we are going to look at the e-commerce solution that we are using to handle Jumia delivery. And we know that the solution is also going to be deployed to handle other e-commerce merchant delivery. So that is what we're about to start before you came in, sir.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. You guys have done a lot, but I just have some few comments. Let me start from the last one. At the meeting we did, management meeting we did yesterday, it was agreed that NIPOST should deploy a platform that will allow people to order for basic necessity. So NIPOST can pick it from the store and deliver at their homes. So I would like you, while you discuss this e-commerce, to look at that. I told them at the management meeting that we are going to look at the solution, but first of all, we can set up a customer service center that people can call and place their order. But you can now look at a solution, a simple solution that can be used, that people can call, order. I asked the e-commerce department to now, when you start e-commerce, you don't have to start with everything. You can pick up some few products and start with them, so that it is those products that will advertise, and then people can now make order, and also identify the merchants who are going to use. If we are going to start using maybe medical drugs, we can identify some few shops that will use them as merchant, and then to advertise that people can buy their drugs during this season, and NIPOST can deliver at home. So maybe at the end of this, if you can discuss, and we can come up with a solution by the end of this week, that would be perfect.
Okay, sir.
Secondly, the issue of CDS.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that Abe is with you. Where are the data for CDS captured? Are they captured at the office of origin or at IMPC?
It's at the office of origin, sir.
And they have trained them on how to capture it.
You know,
now,
2 years ago. Okay.
Yes. Now, two.
Right, sir. Yes.
Two. The CDS, apart from capturing for the inbound mails, if
Yes,
the
sir.
mails come, we're supposed to respond back to the country of origin. And that means integration of the CDS with customs. How far have we gone with the integration of custom? How are custom checking the CDS now? So that angle is very important too.
Okay.
Then most of the issues you discussed, I will need a report. Why there's need for a report? Let's have a report so that we can take action on it.
Okay.
If there are, because you discussed so many issues, let us have reports on them and what are the concerns. And if there are advice, you advise or recommendation, make recommendations so that we can take action on them as soon as we can. Then some of those issues that are challenging to the various districts, maybe you prepare small handouts, a small step-by-step guide on some of those things and send to them. Like that antivirus, I know we have been paying for antivirus for so many years now. And if they are not using it, then that is too bad. So maybe you will now prepare, Felix can prepare a small guide, step-by-step guide on how to use it. And there's so many applications that are challenging, so many platforms that are challenging. A small step-by-step guide can be prepared and sent to all our colleagues.
Okay, sir.
So these are things I have to say, yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, so you guys are doing great. So you continue. So about the e-commerce, please, I would love to hear from you guys by tomorrow.
Okay, sir. We can just set up a small group, because if we want to discuss it in the general house, it may take a longer time because the input may be much. So we'll set up a small subcommittee that everybody can send their inputs to that small committee. The committee cannot come up with a report on how best we can.
But is it something that I think we can come up with a small platform by this weekend for NIPOST to use?
It's possible, sir.
Yes, sir.
At least we can study other systems that are currently on and how these systems communicate. Then we'll see how we can do something.
We're not supposed to meet. We're not supposed to meet tomorrow before, but I think when the committee is formed, the group can just decide
send their input to the committee for collation.
Yeah.
Then the committee will now come up with an harmonized.
Okay, you people can set up like a 4 to 5 man committee, because I want at the weekend. We're already at the weekend. Maybe before tomorrow ending, let's say okay, we can come out with something that we can present. If it's a demo, I know there are already templates for e-commerce already on the place, but maybe how to put them together. But we can demonstrate to NIPOST something that we can do.
Okay, sir. Okay, lastly, sir, before you go, I forgot an aspect. So there were suggestions too on ICT department. They need to develop certain solutions to handle some of the manual processes that we are still doing manually. For example, the reporting that is being done at IPS. Mr. Abe was of the opinion that those reporting are still being done manually. I thought there was a reporting module on IPS where you just go there and generate report, but they said the people on that schedule still do what they call tracking to know who completed the process and who doesn't complete the process. So those are some of the areas too. Then the e-commerce, handling of e-commerce at the district level. There was also a report from Kaduna Zone that the way e-commerce items are handled at the district level, there is need for ICT to look at how a solution can be developed to handle such processes.
I think we discussed that.
However, yes, I told them we are discussing it anyways with the GM ICT, GM e-commerce, please.
But Felix, I asked Felix to work on something on that. I don't know how far
Yes,
I've gone on that.
we have actually worked on this thing where they was supposed to demonstrate that solution until this COVID-19 actually came on board, because Indian locked up before most countries of the world. So that was what affected the demonstration.
Okay. All right. For at the meeting we did, it was agreed that there's challenge in printing items for EMS, and we are advised that virtually all the forms that EMS are using, that we should computerize them. So that and in fact, most of the forms in the post office should be computerized, so that when they need it, they just print it. So these are some of the things we are going to look at as soon as we come back from this COVID-19. So
Okay,
we start seeing how we computerize all the forms, receipts, and everything. I think the receipts have been taken care of by the solution we have now.
Yes, sir.
So it's actually the forms that we need to know. And I think to some extent, for those forms for conventional mail and even the EMS, I don't know, from our solution of IPMS, those forms, are they not computerized?
Yes, majority of the forms are actually computerized.
So let's know which forms are computerized, which are not computerized, so that we can inform them. Because as far as they are concerned, they don't know. So
Okay,
you
so
try to itemize what and what forms are computerized.
Maybe I will work with maybe we'll work with the DZM Bauchi because it's actually online. So yeah, we'll be able to give me some of the forms and we'll check the IPMS. So we'll be able to harmonize the forms, the ones that are computerized and the ones that are not.
Okay. Okay, thank you guys.
So
I appreciate it. I'll be listening to what you guys are saying, but I'll be at the background. So
thank you so much, sir. We're glad to have
They said they need refreshment, sir.
Online, eh?
Well,
we've been doing refreshment.
How are you doing the refreshment?
We monetize it in form of
recharge card.
Okay. All right, I'll discuss it.
Sir?
I'll discuss it with Felix. We'll see what
okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So I'll be at the background. If you can continue the discussion.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. All right, distinguished colleagues, my ogas online, welcome back. We have heard from the GM ICT. We've long been awaiting to hear from our boss, and he has addressed us formally today. And I'm sure that those of us that were online as at the time he started, we heard that so many steps are being taken to ensure that the processes are completely automated, that most of our manual processes are automated in order to phase out all forms of documentation, as it is costing NIPOST much to print all these things. Very quickly, we'll be going to the second presentation, like I said earlier, the presentation on the e-commerce solution. And it is my privilege to introduce the ICT officer attached to e-commerce. He is no other person than Tijani E-commerce and Logistics. Mr. Tijani, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, my great colleagues. I'm happy to be with you guys, and I commend the effort of everybody here. It's a great job we are doing, just to keep everybody on his toes and update our knowledge on everything that we have been doing. Thank you so much, sir. As we know that NIPOST reform came on board 2000.
Sorry, please, is there a presentation for this paper, please? Like a slide, sorry, for this paper.
Yes, there is.
Please, can you share your screen, please?
I have it with Mr. Felix.
Mr. Felix, please, can you share the screen?
But we need a kind of introduction before we get there.
Okay, yeah, you just be talking. I just want him to be doing that.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So this unbundle gave back to this e-commerce and logistics as a business unit. And the main function of this business unit is like a marketing outfit of NIPOST that is dealing with e-commerce and logistics. So that has been our job since inception. So we have a logistic aspect of it that has 2 trucks or 5 tons, move load from every part of the country from A to Z, from A to B, point A to point B. So the e-commerce aspect of it, like us with all these e-commerce merchants that we have around the country, we are dealing with small packets, that is inbound item that comes from outside the country. So that has been our job in this department. The e-commerce as a whole, e-commerce as a unit now, he has his own AGM, Assistant General Manager, that is in charge of e-commerce, while logistics also has its own AGM, Assistant General Manager, Logistics. E-commerce of it now go rounds like a market outfit of the NIPOST, goes rounds, meet with all these e-commerce business, the likes of Jumia, Konga, PayPal, and all the SME. That was the time that we had a meeting with the incubator, this SME group. So we have a lot of them that are they are interested to do business with us. And we have been having some of them on board, business discussion, this is what you need to do, signing agreement, this and that. We had, in recent time, we are working with Jumia. We have some foreign partners that approach us directly that they want to be dealing with us directly, not to be injecting their items into NIPOST, into the post system. They want to be injecting their product into NIPOST directly, not through the post of origin. So that has been our business. And before then, we approached ICT headquarters to develop a solution for us to handle these local source items or any direct inject that we have that is not through the IPS now, any direct inject that we have that will serve like our local application that can handle this system. And the purpose of this system is for the customer, our merchant now, to be able to see their items from point A to point B. Where is my item? Is at so place. It has been delivered. This is the situation. So we approach the ICT headquarters for that purpose. And the consultant was given to us to handle this application for us. And an application was developed for us in due time. We have it as a NIPOST. We have it on mobile and a desktop. Another thing is we have approached NIPOST, the NIPOST headquarters, ICT headquarters this time around, for an application that will be able to handle our e-commerce inbound item, all these small packets that we are talking of that. We want to see the flow of it because some of this item, when it goes to NIPOST, we try to capture it at IMPC. We have a section there that does that. But because of the overwhelming of this small packet that comes from China, it's not everything that is captured. And when it goes to destination, we don't see the flow of this item that, this item is so place. So there is a loss in that, there is a kind of loss from that the flow of tracking and trace on that aspect of that inbound item. And that's why we approach ICT headquarters to look at that, and the work is ongoing on that. But on these local items, like SME that we have within our country, how do we handle the items? Many of them have approached us. In the first instance, we look at the API. If we can have the API that we will integrate with their platform, so that from their platform, and there will be a link with our phone, but the API, some of them rejected the API that they don't want an interference with their application, that they want a seamless application that will be for this operation solely, that will be everything will be on a particular application, not that from one end to the other. So that's why we have this NIPOST that I want to run through on this manual. So on this e-commerce and on this e-commerce of this local small packet that we want to run, we develop an application for it that we call NIPOST, as I said earlier on. And that is what we are saying. This is the manner we developed for it when we trained some stations that were involved in this application, in the running of this application then. Because currently, we are dealing with Jumia for delivering of their items. And what we have currently with Jumia, the business agreement that we have with them is that we are not dealing with all the states. It's not all the cities. So we have it in bit. They are giving us in bit. And we have some challenges earlier, sometimes ago, that they dropped some city with us because of the constraint that we face on as a NIPOST distance. So let me run through this application so that everybody will see. Mr. Bellis, can we just move on? So this application was developed, I said it yesterday that this application was developed into 3 modules. The first one is processing aspect of it that will reside with our clients, with any merchant that comes to us. We will configure a processing part of this module to them. So that processing, that is what they will use. They will have their own login details. They will log into it and they will process the item. When they process the item, that is when we'll be able to have it at our own end here. So let me now go on. On this platform, it has a link that we use because it's a web-based application that we are using. It's a web-based. So the URL for it is logistic. Are you there, Mr. Felix? The next link. So on our URL, we have.
Sorry, Mr. Ismail, if you have a system with you, you can be controlling this slide yourself now.
No, I'm working on the phone.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Yes, I'm not with the phone. So the slide, what we have there is logistic.netpostpay.com. That is URL. Then when you use that URL to log in there, this is what you see as a platform, NetPost. So we log in here, you put your username and password. So
sorry,
from our head.
Hello, Ismail.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see if I can let you use my laptop from here.
Okay, from online, okay.
Okay, but you can just continue while I'm doing trying to do.
So when you log in on this platform, you will see a dashboard. Please move to the next slide for me, Felix. So when you have a username, the username will be created for you as an officer that will use this platform from the administrative right here. But what I'm saying is we have 3 modules. The first one is processing aspect of it that reside with the merchant. The second one is pickup modules. The pickup modules of this application reside with the post office that is attached to the merchant. What I mean is that if we have a merchant A in Kaduna now, a post office that is very close to that merchant warehouse or their store will be attached to them for pickup. That post office will be going to their office to pick the item they have for us to the office for further processing. So an office will be attached to a merchant, and that is the pickup aspect of this module will be attached to that office that is tied to merchant. So what the pickup officer does is he will pick up the item physically, then he will come to office, or you can do it online in that place as well. As he's picking the item, we have a phone. I said we have a mobile aspect of it, the mobile version of this application as well. You can click on, you will just be picking the item with the scan, just scan in and pick, bam, bam, bam. You can pick all the items. We have 100 items for us today, you can pick. Even if it is on desktop, you will see the list of items that they have processed for us today on the list. Like what we are seeing on this platform now, we are seeing ready for pickup, 75. So that means they have 75 items for us to be picked up. Total number of items that we've picked with them is 145. Then the total number of items that we've delivered is 0 here. Then the number we have undelivered that is still pending for delivery, we have 514. So that is how the platforms looks like on the desktop. So we have 75 items here to pick. If a pickup officer gets to the office to pick this item, and he has this mobile and he has this platform on his hand, where he will go now is he will click on manage order. After clicking on manage order, what he will see is pick up items. Felix, are you there? Let's go to the next slide. So that's why I ran with the what we will click here. I selected it and put arrow there. Once he click, he will now see pick orders. If he click on pick orders, then he will be able to pick the item that he has. That 75 item will be listed for you. He will be able to see it and will be able to pick it. So the office of that pickup office has done his own job. After picking the item up, the next thing he will do is, okay, can we see the list of items that we have here now? This is, I said we are working with Jumia. So this is the report we are having from the Jumia now. We have Jumia Ikeja is attached. Currently, Ikeja is attached to Jumia because Jumia's office is in Ikeja. So we attach Ikeja post office to them. So this is their tracking number of the item. The other number is also the tracking number. So this is the address. These are the information that the pickup officer will see on the items if you want to pick up the items. So when you click on this, when the pickup officer, he can select all these items. He can select it that I want to pick up this item. When he click on selecting, when he pick out this item, then the next thing is to dispatch it to the different offices one by one. He can group the item together. He can post office like we see here now. There's a place here that we see the location here. See the location. I don't know if you are with me. Customer city, that is the location. You can select the Meduguri that, oh, I only want to pick from Meduguri. From the tab we have here, you can select that Meduguri, sort by Meduguri. You can sort by the offices that you want to dispatch to. So we will now scan out. That is the terminology we use here now, scan out. Then he will scan out. After scanning it, that he has gotten it to Ikeja. After pickup, he will scan it in to Ikeja. Then he will scan out to Bauchi, scan out to Meduguri, scan out to, that is dispatch out to. So those scan out will go in group, maybe 10, 5, 2, 3, as case may be. So after sending it out to that offices, that is, he has done his own job and he has completed his own aspect of the job. Now, the next, when the item now gets to the various destination as in post office now, the officer at that edge, what he needs to do now is, he has this 10 item with him. Let's take Meduguri, for instance. You scan this item in that he has gotten to Meduguri because we want to see the movement of this item from point to point, so that we'll be able to monitor our transit time. If we need to review our agreement with Jumia that, oh, before our item can get to Meduguri because of this so challenge and this and that, because of bad road, because of this, it will take us 2 days, it will take us 5 days. So we want to be seeing those transit time. When you leave Ikeja, transit from Ikeja, when Ikeja send it out, Meduguri or wherever that this item gets to must scan it in first so that we know that this item has gotten to Meduguri. So from there, Meduguri or any offices can now continue with the update. The update aspect of it is what we are seeing on the screen now. This item you are seeing on the screen is for Meduguri, is for Yola. If you want to update any item here, you click on this view. This selected item that I picked on the view. You click on the view. When you click on the view, go to the next slide. When you click on the view for this particular item in Meduguri now, this one is in Meduguri. So when you click on the view, you see this. You see this page will come up. Then you now click on update status. When you click, yes, I like it. This is the view, the details of this item now. When you click on the view, you see this. Okay, these are the details of this item. This is where it's going to deliver to Opera, whatever, this and that. You have an option to choose here. If you have done the scanning, you know I told you about the scanning in the first place. If this item is just coming in, you click on scanning. If you are taking it out to go and deliver it out, if it's going out of your office, maybe it's not meant for Meduguri, it's meant for sub-office under Meduguri, you scan out to that particular office that is going. But if you are taking it out for delivery, you're not out for delivery, you click on out for delivery. Maybe you give it to your dispatch rider to take it out. You click on take it out for delivery. Then if you have make an attempt on delivery, your dispatch rider come back from outside his process and he could not deliver this item. He will come back to you and tell you that I cannot deliver this item because of so reason. So you make an attempt on delivery. So this update must be coming. And I said, like for instance now, like Jumia, the agreement we had with them is we had 10 days agreement with them for the transit of the item from point of delivery, from pickup to return back to their office, 10 days. If we could not deliver this item in the first, second, up to 7 days, we must return it back so that before 10 days, they will get back to their warehouse. So that is what we have done. That is the agreement we had with them. So the transit time, we must maintain between 5 to 7 days with us and get it returned back to them, failingly the 10th days. So the scanning option here, if you click on scan in, that means it's in Ikeja. This item is in Ikeja, and I'm scanning it because my name is attached to Ikeja now. That's why I'm saying Ikeja location there. You scan it to Ikeja. The date that I got it to Ikeja is this date, 1st September this date. Then you click on submit. The update will be automatically done on that item, that this item is in Ikeja. So let's move on to the next slide, please. If I'm scanning out, this is the dispatch I mentioned earlier. I can scan, I'm sending it out to NIPOST. I'm sending it to, so I will click on submit. That is, I've dispatched it from Ikeja to where it's going to, Port Harcourt. Then out for delivery. If this item, I want to take it out for delivery, the time that my dispatch rider is taking it out for delivery. Once I click on this platform, I will see that. Just click on submit. I can modify these dates and time if it is necessary. Then you click on submit. Next slide. That update has been done. Out for ahead. This delivery attempt to deliver Ikeja. Why the item was maybe it was late for delivery. You can choose any of these from these options. We have options there that you can choose. Person was not available, this and that. So when you click appropriate portion that is applicable here, then you click on submit. Why you could not deliver this item for that day. Now you want to if the item has been delivered, you want to update this information that this item has been finally delivered. You click on this mark for delivery. The first option we have here is updates. You click on update to update the status of item because the item is still with you. Maybe you take it out for delivery, the customer is not around, this and that. So you have done the scan out, scan in, attempt out for delivery, then attempt delivery. But if the item has been finally delivered, you click on this mark as delivered. Let's go on, please. When you click on mark as delivered now, you see this option here. The name of the officer that collects the item, the time you deliver the item, deliver to, because we have some reason that we have some cases, a scenario that like Meduguri, because Jumia, the cities, the area they gave to us is all this dangerous zone that they cannot set up their infrastructure there. They have their delivery outfits in most of the city that they are working in. But the city they gave to us, like Meduguri, at times the officer that they can, an army officer can request for an item that I need this thing from Jumia, maybe you order from anything from Jumia, and he needs it. But when we get to Meduguri to deliver it to him, he's not available. Maybe he's a senior general and he's not he's not somebody that you can access it. Or like we have some estates here in Lagos that you cannot walk in there. They will tell you they have their mail runner, give it to the mail runner at the gate. The mail runner will bring it in. So case like that, that's why we created deliver to the name of officer you deliver this item to. So if anybody is collecting this item from you, give you his name. Maybe we have our rules of delivery that we agree with them. Let the person that wants to deliver this item give you his name and his phone number that he might have called you with, or that you might have called him with. So you delivered it by this and this. So you put the name and the phone number there. Then you now put the name of officer that delivered this item, the officer that delivered this item. Like for instance, now if I'm the one that delivered this item, I put my name there, Tijani Ismail. So after that, you click on submit. You can see scroll down this. So and my ID, my employer's number, employee no ID. This is my PN now. I put my PN then I will click on submit. So officer that delivered this item, so we can have this hand-to-hand check on this item.
Mr. Ismail, are you true? Hello? Mr. Moderator.
I'm here. I'm still waiting for him to continue. Is that the end of the slide?
I think that is the end of the slide. The slide has actually...
He has disconnected.
The slide has finished.
No problem. Mr. Ismail, I hope you are still online because I'm sure there are questions that will be asked. Please, if you have a question, there are areas concerning the application. I think it's a straightforward application too, but maybe there are some offices, I'm sure you've not even seen the application before. You are seeing it for the first time. You are seeing the solution for the first time. Maybe you also want to get clarification pertaining certain areas of the solution in order to ensure that you are prepared just in case your office or your zone is selected for the delivery of such items. Mr. Ismail.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I said you are through with the presentation, right?
That is a short presentation and straightforward application, but I would like to, I don't know if Felix can...
Hold on. It's like Oga wants to say something.
I have a question.
Okay, sir.
Ismail.
Yes, sir.
I know we are working for a solution for you for this small package.
Yes,
but
sir.
Considering what we have now, which you are doing with Jumia,
yes, sir.
Consider IMPC to be a Jumia. Can you replicate that solution for your small packages?
Yes, sir. Sir, what we have now, the products we have here now, because of the manifest of this item that is coming from, what we had, the meeting I had with Felix earlier on is the creation of this service. And when we are discussing about this application, we said we want it in such a way that we can use it for any merchant that comes on board, anybody that comes on board.
Yes, so I want to see IMPC as your merchant. Yes, I want to see IMPC as your merchant because take Jumia. When Jumia sent you, they upload their data to you, isn't it?
No, sir.
Then from there you start distributing the item. So why don't you consider IMPC before your solution comes on board? Why don't you consider IMPC as your merchant, just as you consider Jumia?
Yes, sir. It's possible, sir. We can use it as a test case and see what will happen. Like these guys that come from is it China or this country the earlier on? These I've forgotten their name. Felix, if you can remind me, these people that comes for this Amazon that we had a discussion with. So we use this application, we use it to process the item as it comes as direct injection to us, not through the post now. It comes direct to us, direct injection, and we capture all these items. Who is talking on that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have we use their item as a test from IMPC, direct injection. This Amazon guy that's come from this thing that we had a meeting with. So we use it and the item runs smoothly and it gets to their various destination. And is this application that we use, sir? So we can use this application.
Okay, if you can use will you start? Because I would love as soon as you come back from the lockdown, let's using this application for a week and see what's the feedback.
Okay, sir. What the challenge we have? Hello, sir. Are you with me, sir? The challenge the challenge we had is that this item comes in volume, and this application requires a lot of it to be filled. Not like this. What IMPC is used to is just to capture the tracking numbers, and the other information has already been predefined from the country of origin. So they will just update the information and the process continue. Like what I did for this Cleveland, sorry, sir, for these Clevelands that we use it as a test for them. We have to capture the name, the username, the name of the customer, the name of the sender, everything, the phone numbers, email, and all the feed that requires to be captured. It's very enormous. What we are planning to do with these Cleveland guys is, after we have agreed on necessary things that we need to agree, we create an application, we create this thing for them, a username for them. They have the database of these, they have their customer database with them for every item they are giving to us. They should populate it and process it on that platform. So when it gets to us, we just continue with updating and the item moves on. That is what the Jumia is doing currently. So that is the challenge we have in IMPC, to use this application as a tool for this our item in IMPC. Unless if we can just have a feed that will just capture only the tracking number, and then the other process can continue. That's the only way we can continue with this, because we cannot introduce this application to our foreign partners that are using IPS, because this may call like a postal item. So it's not.
Okay,
That's
the
challenge. Yes, sir.
All right. Oga is still online listening to you. But I think the only constraint I see is that the volume of items that are coming through e-commerce is much. And it will be difficult at IMPC for your officers to capture all those items into this platform. That's the only constraint. The fact that
because the constraint requires many feeds to be feed. The user needs it.
Yeah. But I think you can go back and look at it, because the truth of the matter is we are brainstorming now on how best we can handle these e-commerce items that are lying at the various offices. There are really many. There should be a proper way of handling them. You understand?
Yes, sir. Let me just shed more light on that. What we had, the challenge we had with this item is, many of these items comes to this country on process from the country of origin. They don't capture it from the country of origin, and it gets to us. We try to capture it, and we cannot, because of the volume of this item that comes and the number of staff that is attached to this e-commerce and logistics. Because one thing that I want us to know here is that IMPC does not give much attention to e-commerce item, because this item comes like an ordinary item. Are you with me? It comes like an ordinary item.
Yes, I get your point, Mr. Ismail. The focus of ICT department is that how can we handle it when it now enters this country? Whatever happens between where it's coming from to IMPC is not what we are concerned. When it gets to IMPC, from processing at IMPC to the various offices that will finally deliver this item, we are looking for ways to handle those processes, to handle them appropriately.
That is what I'm saying, Feli. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, excuse me.
Let me, sir.
Excuse me. Let me have.
Oga is talking.
Excuse me. Let me ask you. Excuse me. Every item that enter into this country comes in the manifest. Is that true?
Not all of them. When it's on e-commerce, all of them are not on the manifest. That's what they are saying.
Not every item that comes to this country are on manifest. Not everything. Some are ordinary.
So item will just come without. How do you trace the country of sending? How would they trace that the item has come to Nigeria?
Sir, let me shed more light on this e-commerce small packet of a thing, sir. This e-commerce of a thing.
Yes.
We have not post like you have not started e-commerce, but e-commerce cross-border e-commerce. This thing, they have not started it. But because of the volume of this item that is coming from China, it was during the Malam Rufai in IMPC that discovered that this item, we have some of them are very valuable, that we should be processing it. After processing it, that we, okay, because we are adding more value to this item, that is what brings up about this 200, 100, 500 that we are collecting. Some countries are still challenging us, some customers are still challenging us that why are we charging their customers? Because it's an ordinary item that, like ordinary letter you send with a postal stamp. So it is not manifested.
Do you
from
have your
country of
staff? Do you have your
origin.
staff in IMPC?
We created
Do you have your staffs in IMPC?
Yes, we have a very few of them, maybe 2 or 3.
Okay. All right.
2 or 3 of them.
I would look at
you are breaking up. I'm not hearing you.
and see how do we now thought for all of us. I think we have, and maybe you look at that, Ismail. You look at that solution.
What I'm suggesting.
So we see how can we come with a perfect solution for that problem.
Yes, we've discussed it with Felix. I don't, if you can remember, what we discussed was that let's have a platform, let's have a module that can capture this item, that will be able to track it from point A to point B. And what we need to capture here is just the tracking number and where it's going to.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How does Jumia, how do they send information of their items to you? They capture it one after the other.
You know, they have their database now. This thing comes, if you are buying anything on Jumia, you submitted all your information to them.
To Jumia, so yes. How do they transmit it to this NIPOST site?
They have the processing aspect of it. They fetch this thing to it now. They have
they fetch it. They don't recapture. Yeah. They fetch.
They don't recapture. They fetch it there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think
that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out if from our IPS we have an essay. We can get this on an essay sheet if they have the manifest, and we can get an essay sheet.
They don't have manifest. They don't have manifest. And on
they can
IPS,
capture from the items now.
You said?
They can capture information from the items directly now.
What I'm saying is the information requires some.
Okay, so sir, can I say something?
Please let us coordinate this thing so that we will not be interjecting.
Okay, who is you give right
now, Mr. Ismail, hold on.
Yes,
Mr. Felix, what is your observation?
The e-commerce, Ismail, can you just mute your this thing first? When you want to speak, you can come up. I think the e-commerce solution, there are 2 ways of capturing items in the e-commerce solution. One is through items by item. Then there is another one called bulk item. That means you can type this item, capture the items.
Mr. Ismail, please mute your mic.
I've muted it.
No, it's not.
It's mute now. So you can capture those items in an Excel sheet and now upload into the logistics solution. So if, because we are looking for solution, and if we really want to just make use of the system for now, that is not perfect, we can have a desk at the back or at a logistics desk that the person will just, his own job, it could just be 2 people. Their own job is just to capture this item in an Excel sheet. And within a twinkle of, within 10 to 15 minutes, they've actually uploaded this item into the logistics solution and push it to the next office. So I don't know, that's just my suggestion, because it's not every time you capture single item. There are times you actually capture bulk items. So what Jumia is using is the bulk item solution. They push bulk item to NIPOST. They don't do item by item. By the time they get all this because they already have the format integrated into their system. So their system just pushes all the, if it is 1,000 items, they just push all of them to NIPOST, because once customers are entering it, the feeds that the customers are entering, their database is actually sorting it into the appropriate feed that match with our own feed. So they just push the Excel sheet in an Excel format to us. So we processed. NIPOST just see it as a pickup. NIPOST go there to pick the item up. So if NIPOST can also make use of that, since we don't have the IPS and the logistics solution integrated together, we can do manual capturing using Excel sheet and push the bulk into the platform.
I think that is the aspect the GMICT is looking at, because before now, there was this plan that the e-commerce, Mr. Usman, hold on, I saw your hand. There was this plan that e-commerce should have desk officers, not just one, they should have officers at IMPC, because the volume of these e-commerce items, they are really much. So because we want to cover much ground, the officers should be many. They will capture this thing at IMPC. Then every other processes can follow from point A to B, as Ismail stated. Ismail's constraint is that the feeds to capture are very many. But that shouldn't be a constraint, because it's a normal thing. When you are posting an item, you are supposed to capture where it's going, information about the recipient and all of those stuff. So if you are ready to adopt this solution for now, maybe pending when we're able to just get an integrated solution directly, we can still adopt it.
Yeah, can I comment on that before we go?
Yes.
I think we need to do a kind of a site inspection so that we will understand what I'm saying. On counter, because if let's just visit a post office and see what an officer, how many items an officer can collect, and put it on the platform on IPMS or on IPS on daily basis on counter. So you will understand. Come to IMPC, a bag, and if you started treating this item the way we are talking about now, the congestion there will not be. We cannot even withstand the congestion. What they do currently is, if this item comes, they sort the valuable ones out of it. They capture it with just the tracking number. Once they capture this tracking number, they process it on IPS and it goes like that. And the other one that they just sorted normally, manually, they just sort it into a sorting frame to calibrate to this. Is this item comes in 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 on daily basis, 30,000. An officer, I went there to go and do this Cleveland sub thing. It took me a week to capture 191 items. 191 items. So I don't know if I'm as fast as I am, and this thing, if I can capture 101 in this item in a day, and they are giving them 10 to 5,000 items to treat in a day. An officer on this in IMPC must treat 2,000, 5,000 items in a day. So
all
how
right.
do you want them to cope?
Okay, your observation is noted. Let's not overflog it on this platform. I'm sure Oga will look into it. But very quickly, before we digress from the focus of the presentation, I'm sure there are people who have questions pertaining the presentation. Let us take those questions first before maybe the committee that we are going to set up can as well look at this issue as part of their terms of reference later. Abi, Mr. Felix, is that okay, please?
Yes, but I think I don't know whether our guy is still around.
Oga is still around. Okay, Oga has left.
Oga has left.
Okay.
But I want to assure Ismail that if that is the issue, before we come back from the COVID-19, we are going to see how we can create a module for that particular disabled. That's actually understood what you are talking about. What we just need to do is to just create a module for that particular e-commerce item where we enable scanning. So they'll just scan the barcode, you capture only the barcode, maybe the name or maybe the destination, barcode destination, then maybe amount, submit. You understand?
Yes.
So
Felix, maybe after this presentation we can talk. So we just know what is the fee that is required on this e-commerce item, this small packet item. So we just look at it and we just don't let us just discuss this.
All right, I think that would be better. Think of how best to reduce the fees to speed up the processes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Usman, you have the floor, please.
Thank you very much. I think I'm still going back to the logistics. What Mr. Ismail have explained, I don't have any issue with that. I know that the work is cumbersome and everything, but this already it has already kicked off, and we have this issue. I have a friend complaining to me that he ordered something from Jumia, and from the Jumia side, they said it's NIPOST that is going to deliver it. And it's already telling him that it's been delivered to him, in which he went to NIPOST office like more than 5 times and nothing, no information on the item. He can't track, he can't do anything on an item. And I was like, is there not a place in NetPost that you can easily create an identifier for each of the items that they are listening, if logistics are picking up from Jumia? They're supposed to create an identifier that will work through this and that will ease the process of tracking. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Usman. So the issue of if any item is picked by NIPOST, immediately it's picked, we have an update on our platform that this item has been picked. And when it gets to the office of delivery, we get an update that the item has been delivered. In that case, if that customer has information that the item has been delivered by NIPOST with him, he should just walk to the district office, to the district manager's office there, that this item, the officer said he has delivered this item, and I'm the owner of this item, I've not seen it. So you can raise higher from there. Do you get my point? So from that, you can raise inquiry and this. So, no item will be kept in post office if it has not been delivered. But the issue that we likely have is maybe you have somebody to collect for you, and that person have collected it, and they have not reconciled or something. So if you just walk to post office as he said, claim, and he has not, the item have not been delivered to you, you should just walk to post office and discuss with the manager there, that this item I order for it from this, and this is what they said. From that office, they can make an inquiry and send it back to us in Lagos. Then we contact you.
Mr. Ismail, what I'm saying is that there is no any information on NIPOST site that can track this item, stating that NIPOST picked it up.
In this platform we are using, I told you that it's not linked with. If you look at the URL, it's not linked with NIPOST. This application is still under develop. We are developing it. We are checking it. We are testing it. You see that if there's any gray area that we need to perfect before we link it to NIPOST platform, it has not been linked to NIPOST platform.
But I think that if I am expecting an item from Jumia, even though it's going to come through NIPOST, if I track the item on Jumia platform, I should get information pertaining its status, whether it's still within Jumia or with NIPOST, right?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
So, Usman, so I think the tracking cannot be done. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Kisley. What Usman is asking is whether you can track it on NIPOST platform.
And that's what I'm going to answer him now. So you can't track it on NIPOST, but you can still get information.
Track it on Jumia platform. Even if it has been delivered, you get it on Jumia platform.
Dealing with Jumia. It's not you. You don't have any business with NIPOST. It's with Jumia you have a dealing with. Business. So you'll be dealing directly with Jumia. Do you understand, Mr. Usman?
Yes, and another thing, Mr. Usman, before you go on that, even if there's any issue, any complaint, you cannot complain to us because we are not our customer. You complain to Jumia. Jumia will get back to us that what is
the same thing. Mr. Ismail, the reason why I and him did this thing because I didn't understand the whole process. So I wanted to even learn from it to know all the due process to go about if at all an item is being delivered by NIPOST, which is from Jumia. And we called Jumia, and Jumia said at this point it has already left their warehouse. It's with NIPOST. The package we chose is for NIPOST to deliver, and they already sent it to NIPOST, and it's reading from Jumia's tracking site, stating that it has already been delivered to their customer, in which NIPOST have not done.
Did you, Mr. Osman? Sorry, which territory are you calling from, or which office, please?
This Kaduna. This happened in Kaduna.
Okay, Kaduna.
That's we use this in Kabbalah. I think Mr. Shamsuddin will assist me with that. We use Kabbalah West as the address.
Kabbalah.
Which
post office is close to that Kabbalah? I don't know the post office actually. But what I'm saying is we don't even need to go into that. What we are saying is if an item is reading it has been delivered on Jumia platform. That means we have done update from our own hand and click on delivery because they get information, delivery information from our hand. That is all they post on their website. And what I'm now saying is, if you now have issue that it has not been delivered, walk to post office. If it is post office, just walk to any post office and make inquiry about that item. Or you refer back to Jumia. Jumia will contact us and we'll find out where the item is. There are sometimes, this is a closed platform. This is a NIPOST staff general. There are sometimes that we have our challenges that our national mail route was not moving. Item were with us for some days and that. We had. Do you understand that, Mr. Osman? There are some days that we have those challenges.
I know.
That we had those challenges that item were with us for some days. We could not take it to wherever. But nobody will click on deliver if the item has not gotten to him.
All right. Thank you very much. Let us take the last question from Mr. Irabo. Mr. Irabo, please, you have the floor. Mr. Irabo, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Irabo, you have the floor. Mr. Irabo, please, can you hear me?
The network is bad. I think the network is bad in this side.
All right, thank you.
Felix, you wanted to say something.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Irabo, go ahead, please.
Okay, mine is an observation. Thank God the logistics, they have a dedicated platform for their products. We have IPMS also for NIPOST products. But it will have been such a way that since the local logistics item is integrated, there's an integration between us and it's a partnership with them. Can it be such a way that we can use one uniform tracking system so that we'll build in a parameter that we are using presently for IPMS to the other customers so that there can be an integration so that even from our own platform, they can track those items because those items come through NIPOST, they're going through NIPOST. So as a responsive organization where you are putting transparency and sincerity into it, they should be able to see what happened that transpired, why the thing is into NIPOST and finally to the customer, so that once the upload of the final delivery, it should be such that they are able to see the same thing.
All right, Mr. Irabo. The issue there is NIPOST, our mail items.
Thank you.
They have their... Okay, are you with me, Mr. Irabo? Our mail item, they have their own descriptions, their own feeds. And every company, every merchant, they set their own feed. Everybody has their own predefined information that is more important to them. I need this tracking number. Order number and tracking number, they are not the same. Some companies, some organizations, they have the way they form their tracking number, their order number, their tracking number in different formats. NIPOST format or post format is you must have nine digits within. Previous of if it is mail, if it is letter, register letter, RR, if it is a pass CP, if it is EMS, EE, or something like that, from E to Z, from something like that, and the country of destination of origin, NG like Nigeria, US like US. So all these things is unique to post, and the field required in each, like Jumia now, if you look at their order number and their tracking number, is different from what the PayPort will give you. It's different from what this China item that is coming from China will give you. So in that case, we need a different feed, a different database to handle this different information, because data validation must be verified so that you don't get junk into your database. Specific information is peculiar to different organizations. Like Jumia now, they have their own JEAS something. Conga, they can have their own in different format. Cleveland, they have their own in different format. So all these things comes in different format and different feed data feed is unique. Like a poster, we have our own. Our own is different from DHL. Post is different from DHL. DHL is different from UPS. So that is how those companies, that is how they get their information. And the feed that is required must be clearly taken care of. That is why we cannot use the same IPMS we are using. Even on the IPMS, you know, we have different module for letter, we have different module for parcel, we have different module for EMS. So that is how it has been. What we are looking at is after perfecting this application, there will be a kind of link that will link it to our page, so that when you are clicking on anything, if you want to track e-commerce item, you put the tracking number there, it will fetch it for you on a particular from the database where it resides. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that clarification. I'm sure with time we'll be able to harmonize this. Mr. Felix, you wanted to say something. It's time for us to close. It's already 6 o'clock. So please say what you want to say so that we can constitute the subcommittee or the committee that will be working on what Oga said.
Okay, let me just quickly say what I want to say. Just in respect of what Usman actually asked, that item that was given to NIPOST. What happened was, after the application was developed, Jumia was asked to integrate with NIPOST, because NIPOST delivered, NIPOST actually updates the information. Jumia said that they are not ready for integration yet. So as long as there is no any handshake, no communication between Jumia and NIPOST, that is the NIPOST version, the NIPOST back end, Jumia is not ready to integrate with the NIPOST back end yet. So as long as they are not ready to integrate with the NIPOST back end, they cannot be able to query the NIPOST database. So that's where the problem is. So any customer that has issue with Jumia items should go to Jumia for tracking, and Jumia cannot call NIPOST for update. We have no business with NIPOST, because NIPOST is the back end. And once Jumia integrate with us, if they are ready to integrate with us, even today, we can, because we have all the we have sent it to them. They are the ones that have integrated the back end. So that's just the update for now on that Jumia update.
All right, thank you very much for the clarification. I think this is a better point to draw the curtain for today. I want to appreciate the facilitators, those who have been able to take us through the courses we received today. We really appreciate you. We thank you for the knowledge you have imparted. I want to also thank every one of us who have been part of this meeting since 3 p.m. And for those who have even left, I want to appreciate you as well. The GMICT gave us a task, and I think it's something that we're supposed to deliver between now and next week, so that it can be presented to management. If it was possible, I would have said everybody should serve in the committee, but then to reduce the influx of different opinions, so we'll have to create a subcommittee. And based on that, I'll be calling out some persons who will be serving in that subcommittee. But however, each and every one of us, we are supposed to send our inputs on how best we can do this. So we already know what it is. It's NIPOST wants to serve as a delivery agent in this period of lockdown. They want to be delivery, whether medical supplies, food, and all of those stuff. So, Mr. Irabo, you will be part of the committee. Mr. Felix, you are there already. Mr. Abe, I think you should be too. Mr. Abe, you'll be part of the committee. Ismail, I think there are issues that has to do with e-commerce too. So Ismail, you will be there. Oga said 4 or 5. I know Mr. Felix is there now, Mr. Irabo too, Mr. Abe, Mr. Ismail. Is like we are not doing women agenda. I would prefer we take.
And Mr. Kingsley there too.
Okay, I will be the I will be the moderator now. I need a female. I need a female at least, so that we'll not just be doing men agenda. Please, can you please go through
We have
Mrs. Modi.
We have Modi.
Mrs. Modi.
We have
Mrs. Modi. You are part of the committee too. You are part of the committee. I actually would have loved a situation where we can touch some zones but the committee will now be too much. So please, you pardon me, because I actually would have loved it so that our input will vary, so that we'll not just be talking from everybody from Lagos or everybody from Abuja. So our experience will not be diverse. But all the same, these people are part of the committee. So every other person, you are expected to send your input through either the ICT platform or directly to Mr. Felix to this committee, please. I'll take the names again: Mr. Irabo, Mr. Felix, Mrs. Modi, Mr. Abe, and Mr. Ismail, and my
humble self.
So I thank you. We close this meeting so that we can go and do other things. I want to appreciate us once again. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your input, and God bless you. Good night.
Thank you, Mr.
God bless
Producer.
you too.
I want
Thank
to
you so
especially
much.
thank Mr. Vachawa for always finding time to come to this platform to stay with us. God bless you. With you. So, moderator, don't close the.
Sorry,
So you
before
can
I go,
unmute your mic and fraternize. Unmute your mic and fraternize.
I expected Mr. Fashawa to talk on this e-commerce thing that we discussed, but it's not.